you're here for our glitch bits as part of Vlogmas 2020. Now we plan on doing glitch bits well beyond, Vlogmas 2020, but it was a good way for us to get in and start doing it. And what is Vlogmas 2020? Well, if you go back to the one marked day 1 in our playlist, then we'll go over it. But it's really just a way for us content creators to push ourselves to come out and do more content and create cool stuff for you guys and see if we can, push the envelope just a little bit. So for me, it was a way to get my bits going. So we normally do a live Q&A where you can jump on and ask your questions and we'll answer them live. And those are still entirely open. If you look in our events or you subscribe, you'll see that there. In fact, just to show you, if you wanted to, if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to us here on Facebook. And then more importantly, if you are on Facebook, you could come over here on YouTube and subscribe and then hit that bell to get notified when we're going live, or hover over that QR code and bring that up. But, for that, we do have our live Q&As. We do have a happy hour coming up this weekend too. We already did one yesterday, so you can see yesterday for our happy hour where we covered 4 different craft beers, and tomorrow we'll cover 2 more. But we also did our live Q&A where we covered the exposure triangle for photography. Well, to go with that theme, where we talk about everything computers and video and all that, today we're talking still more photography. And what I wanted to do was tell you guys how to get more out of your lights and make a more interesting background. It doesn't always have to be about spending a lot of money. If I flip around, yes, I do have a cool light right over here that's adding this nice light right there. You can see if I block it off on that side of my face, and I can play that up a little bit more. I do have a fill light coming in over here to fill in a little bit, and then I have my key light right here. If I turn my eyes towards it, you can kind of see the hint of it in the reflection. And then I have practicals in the background where we have colored lights that can do all different things back there, plus the ghost and a few things to make it more interesting. But having said that, I don't necessarily need all that. And when I started in photography, I didn't have that. Sometimes you might only have 1 light or 2 lights, maybe a work light from those halogen or LED ones from Home Depot. You might have something. I have this cool light called a ice light, which is just a really bright lightsaber for the most part. But it, can make me look really cool. Come over here, it kind of fills in a little bit. And I can feather it off. But you can find something like this at the store. It's just a clamped work light. If I put it back here, I get a little bit more of that hair light. But let's say I have something like that and I want to get more out of it. I only have the 1 light. Well, that's where we can introduce a very cheap and inexpensive photography device that photographers don't always talk about. A mirror. You get to see my setup. See, fun times. But with a mirror, we can do all sorts of different things. The cool thing with a mirror is it reflects 100% of the light that hits it. So when it's off to the side, it can reflect in the light that's hitting it. So if I were to hit it with this, I can reflect that light back onto me. It's not shining on me, but it's reflecting that light onto me. So if it was there, it could be both my main light and my fill. See, once it went away, how this, this side of my face, the ghost side of my face, filled in. So really quickly, what I can do is just take some gaff tape, put a hole on it, and put it on a light stand. So I can have that off the scene over here and still get a level of fill light. I had this off there, so you can see if I drop it, I still lose that light. If I bring it up, especially if I angle it back at me correctly, it can fill in. So that's extremely powerful because you can have more than 1 mirror. In fact, down in this box I have over here, I have 4 different mirrors in this thing. But I can also make those interesting backgrounds by flexing it. By giving a little bit of flex, if I were to put a light on it now, you can kind of see it on me, where it gets that cool line on my shirt. But by flexing it just right, See how I'm drawing that light on there on my arm? Well, I can do that on my backdrop. If I were to take this light and kind of angle it on there, see my backdrop get a little bit more interesting? Well, if you have kids, you can sit there and have one of them in the background give you a dynamic light just by sitting off screen and angling that through. And that's something you can do with that. You can also just put it on a flex. Put a clamp on there, flex it in. But these are extremely cheap. In fact, you can go to the store. You can buy these types that are photography ones and they're going to cost a little bit more. Or you can go on the cheap and just go buy ones at Target that are in the frame. Pop them out of the frame, take a Dremel down the center, and you've got two manageable lights. And like I said, what's nice about that is you can pop them in at one side. So let's say you have your main light right here. You can pop them from each side, and that will give you a nice little hair light. Like I said, if I pop this over here, since my main light's right over there, I can get a level of fill on that side of my head. You're kind of seeing it now on this side of my glasses. So if that was out of frame, if my arms were a little bit longer, you'd see something cool there. The other thing you can do to make them more interesting is a gel. You can buy these for cheap at most theatrical shops, but you can also, they won't be heat treated. This one's heat treated because it came from a theatrical shop, or a photography shop. But you could also just go and get that wrapping cellophane that they sell at Target, Walmart, all those areas to make those fun things. And if you go through that and put a light through it, it makes it blue. So those lights back there, while they're LEDs, I could have just bought any LED light, and those ones can change colors, but I could just put a gel on there and add some dynamics. A cool, fun hair light. Very simple and easy, or maybe a more interesting background light. Maybe I pop that down there, and it just sits there and lights up everything blue. And that's what I can do with this gel. I can also take that gel, because it's versatile, and pop it on my mirror, and it will still bounce back that blue light because it's passing through the gel. Now I will lose some because at that point I'm losing a little bit of that power, but you kind of get the idea. Still getting some blue on me. I get it at the right angle. But you'll see it's still filling in that blue kind of light back on me just a little bit. Now this gel's not as big as that light source, so that's part of the problem there, that it's gonna bounce back more white. But there's all sorts of different ones. And let's say you buy warm lights that look a little bit warm. They have gels called CTBs, cross to blue. That'll make it feel more like daylight. And then vice versa. Let's say you have daylight bulbs because you want yourself to look, this is more a daylight color on me, but maybe I want my hair to be this nice warm color that you're seeing right now. That's because I have some lights right up here. I'm actually using my bar lighting up above turned on just so I can get that little bit of color in my hair. If I turn that off, if I back up far enough, you'll see I lose it because these are pointed forward. So quick little photography tips is a little bit of gel, and it doesn't have to be photography gel. It could just be that wrapping paper style gel they sell at the store. It goes a long way. You get that red, purple, blue, green, all sorts of stuff. They also have ones that cut out some of the light, so you can make, if a light's too bright and you can't turn it down. And if you're using that kind of cheaper lighting from Home Depot, which nothing wrong with that, I started out there. Everyone has to. I still have those lights in my garage. So I still have them today. They're wonderful tools. But on the cheap, grab a mirror, a plexi mirror, better than a glass because you can do that flex I was talking about for the background so that you can make those cool, fun background things, or use it to fill yourself in to get a little bit more fill light. See? Wonderful tool. Instead of paying another $150 for a light, why not spend $200 on a really great light, or $150 on a really great light, and then $10, $5 on a plexi mirror? and have 2 lights basically that are 150 bucks. That's my little tip, and I hope you found that useful. But it's also day 5 of Vlogmas, and I'm a big fan of Iowa Craft Beer. I'm wearing my Pointer Brown shirt, and we've been opening a different one of my Iowa Craft Beer Advent Calendar. So day 5 means it's day 5 of the Advent Calendar. So let's open this up and see what we have, because this is what's going to be covered in our happy hour tomorrow. We're going to have 2 different beers tomorrow. I'm going to do a Vlogmas tomorrow, and then I'll have my happy hour probably a little bit later in the day. And according to this one, this is one of my favorites. Exiles. Come on. Come on, focus. There we go. Exiles Sir Mocha. They say, it takes a hero to be bold. This beer, brewed with coffee, with flavors of mocha, so bold, this roast shall live on in infamy. That's what it says right here on the back, which is a lot of fun. This is a great beer out of Exile Brewing in Des Moines, Iowa. 7.5 ABV. We'll cover it a little bit more in the happy hour, where we talk all about it, what makes it, what it is, what style it is. It is a mocha style, but we talk on that a little bit more. But that's what we have. And like I said, we try to keep these short. Glitch bits are normally shorter than I did today, but I got a little geeking out on it. I wanted to give you guys the background. I hope you guys had a great time. I had a great time. I look forward to giving you guys another geek tip tomorrow. Maybe we'll go back to the iPhone or the Apple Watch. That's what the other, some of the other tips were on. Go back and check those out if you want to know some hidden features of your Apple Watch or iPhone. And we'll have more tomorrow. So if there's something you guys want to know or curious on, send me a message through Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get them worked in. Do what I can to help you guys. So thanks for stopping out. I had a great time.